Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Idahoan Show. Once again, I'm retiring another pair of steel-toed boots, and as usual, I think we need to give them a ballistic send-off. So, if you recall, I've already tested a variety of handgun and rifle rounds to see if they would penetrate the steel toe of a steel-toed boot, but we haven't tested any shotgun rounds. So, I've got the Jefferson out here today, configured just as a smoothbore 12 gauge. So let's start off with a Birdshot round and see what it does to a steel-toed boot. Okay, well, as you can see, I've taken the red dot sight off of the Jefferson because I needed it for another experiment with a different gun. So it's taken me a couple of shots just to figure out where to line up that sight block on the boot in order to hit the steel toe. But anyway, taking a look at our boot here, you can see that the Birdshot is really shredding the leather boot, but it's not really doing anything to the steel toe. The steel seems to be pretty well impervious to Birdshot. So, for our next test, let's try Buckshot. Well, with 2 rounds of Buckshot, we have succeeded in denting the steel toe pretty good, and functionally in blasting it out of the boot. You can see it's just hanging by a thread there. But we still don't have any actual penetration of the steel. Now, I think this boot is pretty well done for at this point, but we have one more boot in the pair. So let's get that one up here and try a slug for our final test today. Well, first shot with the slug was a solid hit, and as you can probably see in there, we've got a great big dent in the steel toe, but we still don't have any penetration. Now, the one thing that comes to mind is, I had the boot sitting up like this, and I was shooting it kind of at an angle like that. So, the slug was hitting at somewhat of an oblique angle. If we turn the boot around, we might be able to get a more direct angle of impact. So let's try that next. Well, I think I can safely say that that is the most severely dented steel toe that I have ever seen. I don't know how well you can see that. I mean, that really crushed the steel toe, but it did not penetrate the steel. Well, this was an interesting test. Given that some handgun rounds, notably the .44 Magnum, have no trouble penetrating the steel toe of a steel-toed boot, I'm not sure that I intuitively would have predicted it to stop a 12-gauge slug. That said, as usual, I think we can say that shooting yourself in the foot is always a really bad idea, even if you're wearing steel-toed boots. And in the case of the 12-gauge, as much as the steel toe was caved in, I don't know that it would have provided any meaningful protection. Anyway, I think these boots are thoroughly ready for the dumpster now, so hopefully you enjoyed this little experiment, and thank you for watching the Idahoan Show.